I guess we wanted to do this a little bit less formal in terms of videos, and I think normally we try and really keep it small as far as the time cap, because we want to post it on Instagram. But this one's going to be a bit longer and a bit more casual, and yeah, see how we go, I guess.
So the question is,
Why we train?
why do we train?
Or more so like, why do resistance training, isn't it?
Yeah, why do we do resistance training, or even just like, what is the best training
Yeah.
to do?
Yeah.
Which I think, on a surface level, we both kind of agree that the best training is the training that you want to do and you enjoy.
Enjoy doing it. Yeah. That's
and
the
that
key.
you'll do for a long, long time, right?
Yeah.
But it's a little more complicated than that when you really kind of delve into how can something like training of any kind be long term, because ideally you'd never want to stop, right?
No, we think it's important. I mean, that you fit training into your lifestyle, whether that's 2 days a week, 3 days a week, or 4, sometimes even more.
Yeah.
And you fit it in a structure that's going to allow you to keep doing it for a very long time, and we think that's a really good, healthy balance. But I guess stuff gets in the way of you doing what you could keep doing for a long time, whether that's sport or different types of exercise, whether that be like F45 style training and high intensity stuff, or CrossFit for an example. We think.
Well, I mean, using those two as an example, right? Like in your 20s, in your 30s, maybe even into your 40s, those are really exciting, fun workouts, and just fun exercise in general. You get a lot of benefit around them. They're very high intensity.
Yeah.
You get good adaptations for the most part in a lot of different areas with those sorts of workouts.
Yeah.
The issue comes though is the longevity of them is not necessarily an issue when you're young and fit and you don't have any prior injuries or health concerns, but I guess it becomes more of an issue in different phases of your life.
Yeah. So I guess you get injured, you start hurting. You know, most of us have been through some level of back pain as well. So we know all these things get in the way, and it makes those types of exercises really hard to continue doing. So finding, I guess, like a sweet spot between that and something you can do for a long period of time is important, and that's where like more private coaching. I think that's where we really step in as coaches. Like we run a smaller group environment, which allows us to kind of really dial in the workouts to each individual client, to the point where clients might rock up on the day, have certain pain here and there, and we can quickly assess what's going on and make some decisions what we do with their programming. But by capping, I guess, you know, each of us as coaches might look after 4 people as a maximum. By capping it at 4, it allows us to make those changes on the fly, which in a larger group setting might be really overwhelming for a coach to do, right? So
yeah, I mean, I think I've worked in those larger group settings before, and I've even done job trials and stuff at those sort of places as well. And it is really hard as a coach because you want to know as much about the person as possible, but when you've got 20 other people that you're looking after just in that hour, and then you've got a session after that and a session after that, you can only know so much about them as well. And then so when it comes to trying to think of something on the fly, it's near impossible for not only the coach, but like
the client to know what's going to work for them as well.
What's going to work for them, and you know,
it ends up just being you pick whatever is the easiest option for them to do something versus doing nothing, which it's good, but when we think about like really trying to move clients forward and get them progress over time, it's from the client perspective, I can understand how frustrating that would be as well. I feel like you can't do everything you want to do,
and every time you need to change an exercise, it's usually a plank, it's a wall sit,
something
real basic that actually isn't really related to the exercise you wanted to do, because it's just not possible in those settings to come up with a regression essentially of that exact exercise, the same movement pattern, the same type of movement, just because like, the setup takes too long, the equipment's just not there, it's not available, the weight's not the right weight for them, or whatever it is. So there's no way around that.
No. So I guess to wrap up the video, we could say that like, do what you love doing, right? That's really important, and do it for as long as you can. But working with your coaches, whether that be in the large group setting or a small group setting, you need to know when the right time is to kind of like dial things back. And it means, unfortunately, you might not be able to do those styles of training forever, which I know it's a bit of a hard pill to swallow, but that's the reality of what happens to our bodies over time. And a lot of the industry, all we want to do is talk about the positive stuff as it comes, to body and doing activities. But the reality is, our bodies are degrading over time.
Yep.
Right, and then no one wants to talk about this, but that's what's happening, right? Yeah. Because it's an uncomfortable conversation to have with like your general population and your clients. It's a hard one. But yeah, knowing when the right time is, I guess, to dial back a little bit and do more individualized stuff that's more right for you.
And it's just safer as well. Like,
yeah,
be a little safer.
Yeah.
Safety is very important with any exercise.
Yeah.
But we kind of, I remember neglecting it when I was a teenager. It didn't even matter, right? Like you wake up the next day and you're fine. Yeah. It doesn't happen a little bit later on.
Yeah. That's not to say we don't look after the other end of our clients as well, right? Like, we look after young clients that we can throw anything at and they're going to recover from. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Guess it's a wrap.
That's a wrap.